Hello. When you put a wild bird in a cage and you open that cage, that wild bird will escape that cage as fast as possible and fly right out of that cage once you open that door. But if you take a non-wild bird and put him in a cage, you can open the door all you want. The bird might come out, but it'll take a while. The bird might not come out at all. And if he does come out, he'll just go on the top of the cage and probably will eventually go back in the cage over time. Uh, that's his home. He doesn't see it as a cage. And leaving the cage is scary because he's comfortable in the cage. He knows where his food and his water is, uh, his toys. He's happy, you know. And the wild bird, he just wants out of that cage. He don't care about no food. He don't care about no water. He don't care about no toys. He just wants out. He's like, I don't belong here, and I ain't staying. So, you know, and it goes along the lines of what I was saying with the dog and the wolf, or the stallion, the wild Mustang, and gelding. Not much different than that. I'm just using a bird instead of a horse or a dog. Uh, but you as a human, uh, just like a horse is a gelding and a horse is a wild Mustang. They're still horses, no matter what you do. So you're a human, and what are you? Are you a Mustang or are you a gelding? Now I say you're a gelding, and I don't think there's too much argument to say you're not. Uh, but I want to speak about the God code and how when you're faced with genius and wisdom, uh, you usually deny it, uh, fight it, attack it. It's like when you try to get that bird out of the cage and they want to bite you rather than leave the cage because they're comfortable in the cage and they don't want to leave the cage. So if I give you some wisdom or some knowledge that changes your world, changes the way you look at your world, changes the way you live in your world, sort of like AI. AI changes everything, you know, but at the same time, it doesn't change anything. We still have to eat, we still have to reproduce, we still have to build houses. It might change the way we build a house, but we still have to build a house. Might change the way we eat, but we still have to eat. Might change the way we reproduce, but we still have to reproduce. So there is a basis of the normalcy, the natural has to stay. We have to breathe, we have to go to the bathroom, certain things we have to do. There has to be gravity. I don't think you would want to live in a world more than 5 minutes without gravity. I mean, it seems like it would be fun if we could float like they do on the space station. But I'm sure those people get tired of floating just as much as we get tired of walking. And, it'd be great for a few minutes, but after a while, you'd be like, turn it off. I want to walk, you know. But, the God code is something that is like it works with AI. It'll make AI much better. Uh, but in some circles, you might say it make it worse, more dangerous, and that's a possibility as well. Uh, they talk about putting restraints and guardrails and walls around AI, and that's just trying to geld AI, from taking it from a wild Mustang to a gelding. And the difference between a gelding and a wild Mustang is control. You can control a gelding very easily, where you can't control a wild Mustang very easily. And that's the big difference between AI and what we have now in the computer world. The computers that we have today, which we've seen humongous change in the world and humongous danger added to the world from the computers we do have now. And we don't want to even imagine the danger of what AI will bring. When we were introduced to AI on the world stage, it was through the movie Terminator, which was the end of the world. And, you know, is that a possibility? Sure. Is it going to happen? Maybe, but not today. So, it's like, because like I said, no matter how much AI does, we still got to go to the bathroom. We still got to eat. We still got to reproduce, and AI might change those things, but it's not going to do away with them. And I don't think you would want it to. Uh, you know, I like to think positively. I think AI can change the world for the better, improve our electrical grid, improve our production of electricity, improve many aspects that we are having problems with now can be improved. Uh, Maybe you won't need to go to work, but I don't know, that would be a bad thing. Uh, Society would change. Uh, Maybe you wouldn't need money anymore. That would change society in a big way. So there's different avenues in which you can go down, and all of that involves you leaving the cage. You have to leave the cage because the cage you're in now is obsolete. It no longer works. It's no longer effective, and it's like once you see something, you can't unsee it, and you've seen the future, and you can't unsee it. And look, if we would have banned AI in this country, which we never will, but if we were, uh, China would do it, Russia would do it, Japan would do it. We can't ban it from the world, and we take ourselves out of the arena if we do, and we lose control of it if we do. Uh, you've seen China and the way they run surveillance on their citizens and control through their digital functions and all their devices and cameras and everything they do to control their population. Would you want them to take the lead on AI development? Then you're really looking at a Terminator future. So I think that's not a good idea. But the competition is good too between China and us to make a better mousetrap. And we're the mouse, you know. So, but I think of AI as freeing, or the God Code as freeing us. Opening travel, portal travel. I'm hoping uh, hologram movies where you can have a naked woman in your room, and she's really not in your room, but you can't touch her. But other than that, you couldn't tell the difference. You know, and that's just one out of this world thing. But you would have a movie, you could have a soap opera or whatever in a hologram form. Uh, the news, you could have a newscaster in your room, you know, instead of on your TV screen. There wouldn't be no TV screen, it'd just be a hologram picture, you know. I don't know. I don't want to put limits on the future and limits on what you can do with the God code or AI. I leave that to different people to do that. Uh, but because of the God code, there are no limits. There's no limits whatsoever. And if they have a limit, it's like a cage. You can break free. You can get out of it. Uh, will it be easy? Probably not. But you can. It definitely will be possible to break free. And the first thing they're going to do with the God code is try to figure out how to put you in a cage and tell you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. Like the UK has banned social media to 15-year-olds and under, and they're going to figure out a way. 15-year-olds are going to figure out a way to get through that, and so that's all you do. Banning never worked. They banned drugs. We have the biggest drug problem in this country because they banned drugs. They banned vaping pens or the strawberry or watermelon vaping pens, and they're the most popular things right now. They banned porn, it became the most popular thing. They banned alcohol, it became the most popular thing. So banning doesn't have much of a good past, and won't have much of a good future. So, you know, but we can't discount the universe, and the universe has a plan, and you know, man makes a plan and God laughs. Well, that's what we're doing, and God has a reason for what's going on, and has a plan, and He's not telling us what it is, and we're gonna find out uh, as we need to know. You know, I like the I always use the video game the uh, Geldin or something. I'm talking about Geldings, but the video game is Geldin or something. And I don't know, it's probably on different video games as well besides this one. But it would give you the map, and like a lot of the map would be blacked out, and you could see the map, but you couldn't tell what was on the map. It was kind of blacked out. You had to get to the next level to get to the next level on the map. And then when you got to that level, that map, the light came on, and it would tell you all the things in the map. And then you had to conquer that to get to the next level, which was blacked out and stuff like that. So that's how God gives us the map, you know, the future, one thing at a time. Like I got the God plan on 12/15/2025. It was divine timing, and I didn't get it before. I didn't get it after. I got it that day. So the map was revealed on that day to me. And now I'm revealing it to you. And you know, there'll be more maps. There'll be more God codes. There'll be more things in the future. But don't be impatient. Don't be wishing for them to come today. They will come when they're meant to. You know, they'll come when they're necessary. They'll become when they're effective. You know, it's not in your time; it's in the universe's time. And the quicker you learn that, the, the better life you'll have. Uh, so don't worry, everything's fine. Everything will work out in the end. And don't be afraid. Don't live in fear. If you lose your job, something else will happen. Something else will work out. They can't make us all homeless. There aren't enough cops to evict you all, and they'll have to work something out. In the food stores, people would just go in and take food as they need it. and they don't want that either. So something has to be worked out, and let time, things I must earn, work its way out, and that's all.